Invention is a creative process, one that involves the use of our imagination to achieve valued goals. The skill of scientific invention involves linking a discovery achieved through research to a purpose or a need, and its transformation into physical reality as an artefact. And that artefact needs to have practical utility and value as well in resolving a particular purpose or need. If the artefact may be generated using existing elements, methods, components, assemblies, technologies, materials, or biological organisms, if it can be generated using existing elements, then it means an invention can be quickly conceived. If, however, more novel invention-specific elements are required, then experimentation may be required to test and validate the veracity of each new element. And this takes time and may become a recursive process with small incremental improvements made at every stage. One of the skills of an inventor is the ability to recognize and bring together old as well as new elements in original combinations to address a particular problem in order to generate an artifact. Another skill relates to recognizing how a discovery potentially links to a need or gap, which requires knowledge and experience of the real world and situations where and how an artifact may actually just fit in. And this requires imagination, the ability to conceive of a future situation where a discovery can be applied and embodied within an appropriate design, appropriate process, structure, device, machine, or composition of substances that can be used out there in the real world. The difference between a scientist and an inventor is that the inventor has an ability to imagine a solution, envisage its form and how it will function, and then to generate an appropriate embodiment of that, the artifact. A step that involves both the ability to recognize the opportunity offered by the discovery, but then to know from this how to create an artifact that may end up being a product, a service, or a process. It is this crucial step that delineates the province of the inventor from that of the scientist. Some scientists are, of course, also inventors, but not all. Scientists who undertake scholarly research tend to be less likely to be inventors, or even have a wish to be so. Scientific inventors are more likely to be found amongst those who undertake practitioner trade or custom research. It's worth perhaps pointing out that in research, the difference between scientific problem solving by scientists and that of the scientist inventor is that the scientists seek excellence in their field that is driven by recognition and judgment by their peers, their fellow experts. Whereas the scientific inventor seeks appropriate solutions manifest as an artifact judged on its ability to effectively and efficiently service an opportunity and a market need. However, it is really important to note that both scientists and inventors may be characterized by a need for the mastery in their field, but it just manifests itself in different ways for these two different types of people. But how is mastery by inventors? How is this achieved? What is it about their makeup that enables this ability to imagine and to invent to manifest itself? Eileen Cooper is a psychologist working with inventors, and she highlighted the importance of non-verbal, visual, spatial, and temporal intelligence in the creative process. In particular, the ability of such individuals to simultaneously manipulate space and time in a mental three-dimensional world in their heads as part of the process of invention. Inventors are able to integrate highly cognitive functions such as problem solving, language, decision-making, memory, and creativity with thoughts and behaviors through a series of hundreds or thousands of individual mental events to generate a meaningful creative product in their heads. They envisage a future. There is some evidence that such creative people experience many more stimuli in their mental processes than those who are less creative. Such mental processing is interspersed with solitary, social, and intellectual work-life interactions, and will involve many distinct neural groups scattered throughout the brain. The ability to identify key attributes of character and any predispositions of inventors as individuals may better enable and direct policy and resources to support their personal development and their inventive efforts. As was so aptly noted by Sarah Bonbranach, she thought that basically the world needs dreamers and the world needs doers, but above all, what the world needs most, are dreamers that do.